This is lesson number 3, and we're moving on to the rest of Shallow Creek Blues. Now, I presume you've been practicing what I gave you in the last lesson, and you can now do one pass through the chord progression. By the way, I think I said it was a 12-bar blues in the last lesson. I wasn't sure whether it was a 12 or an 8, but I ended up saying it was a 12. It's actually an 8. Although, to do it completely, you have to go through twice, so I guess you could also call it a 16-bar blues. Whatever. Anyway, I'm now going to show you the second half of the full thing, full progression, and then we'll do a couple of variations. So our first time through, you'll remember how we finished. The second time through starts exactly the same. One bar of E, one bar of B7, one bar of E. Then if you were going to turn around again, of course, you'd go back into the B7th, or you might end on the E. So when you add what I gave you in the second lesson to that, you've then got the whole thing all the way through. Now I'm going to show you a couple of little variations just to dress it up a little bit. We'll keep it simple to start with. So we'll start at the beginning, always a good place to start. So we'll start off exactly as we have been. Remember, we're putting our little bounce in. All of this is exactly the same. Then we get to the E. One bar of the E instead of two. Then so what did I do there? We got to the E, we did one bar as per normal. But our second bar of the E now goes like this. It has a bass run, so we hit the bass E, then the fourth fret of the bass E string, which is a G sharp note, the open A string or fifth string, first fret of the A string, then into our B7th. We play one bar of B7th, then we're taking the whole B7th chord and we're sliding it up one fret. Now we're getting a very odd sounding chord here because we're getting that discordant sound there, which is the B flat note against the B note, only a semitone apart. So we've got our 7th note of the C scale, because we're now moving it up there. You can see it's kind of like a C. There's that much of the C. Or if you were playing a C7th, we've got that much of the C7th, but we've got that open B note in there. That works okay in ragtime sort of pieces, as long as you just don't linger on it too long. So we're doing one bar of the B7th, sliding the whole chord up one fret. We do half a bar, so only 2 thumb strokes followed by 2 finger strokes. So thumb index, thumb middle, then we go back down to the B7th again. We do the same thing, another half a bar, because we're making up the bar. Okay. So just from the E, again, one bar of the E, then boom, 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 boom. Right. Now, a second time through, again, we start off the same. Down to our A7th. One bar of B, then we go to our B7th. Now, what I'm doing there is I'm taking the B7th, I'm just playing the bass string, which is the A string or 5th string, then the 3 treble strings together, then I'm taking the whole chord, sliding it up one fret, doing the same thing again, just the bass on its own and then the 3 fingers, then back down, the bass string with the 3 fingers. And then the E chord. And I'm just playing the bass E and the 3 treble strings. So we're going. Alright? Now I'm going to give you a little ending at this point. We're going to do some more variations in the next lesson, but you need to be able to end this thing properly. So if you've just done that, here's a good little ending for you. Best way to find this chord is to go to your B7th, lift your middle finger and put it, instead of on the A string, the 5th string, move it down 1 string to the bass E string, the 6th string. Lift your little finger up because we don't need that. Then take that little 3-note shape and slide it up 3 frets so that your index finger's now on the 3rd fret and these 2 fingers are on the 4th fret. Now we're going to break our finger picking rule here. You'll remember in the first lesson I said that rules are meant to be broken. Well, here's where it happens. Instead of the index finger playing the G string, I want it to come down to the D string, the 4th string, and your middle finger is going to play the G string or 3rd string. Your thumb's still going to play the bass E, and we're just going to play those in succession. We're going to play the thumb, index, middle. Just boom, boom, boom. That's all. Then we slide that whole chord down 1 fret, do the same thing again. Slide it down another fret, do the whole thing again. Then we do our E chord again with just the bass and the 3 fingers, like that. Okay, we're going to do this strange little chord here, which is an E7th added 9th. So start with your E chord. We're going to lift the ring finger, which is currently on the D string. We're going to move it across to the treble E string or 1st string at the 2nd fret. We're going to take our little finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the B string or 2nd string. And you can just do whatever you want with that chord, strum it, pick it, whatever. And that's just a nice little finishing chord. So that whole little ending goes. Do it properly. Okay, so now if I just play that whole thing from the beginning with the variations at about 3/4 speed, you'll see how it now sounds. Have fun with that.